Quarter-final time here in Hildesheim in a tournament of opportunity. Half of the players through to this stage of the tournament have never won one of these titles, while none of the 8 players have tasted success on the floor this year. We are guaranteed a 15th different winner of the season in Players' Championship action. Could it be one of these 2 players we have next up on Stream 1? Gabriel Clemens never won a senior PDC title, and the same applies for his opponent, Kevin Doets. Both players, of course, had big breakthrough moments on the world stage in recent years, with Kevin Doets coming in the latest installment of the World Championship, reaching the last 16, and the German giant with a run to the semi-final in 2023. But who is going to take a step closer to a first Pro Tour title? I think one of the most astonishing things to note about Gabriel's run to this stage, Dan Dawson, is the ease with which he's come through his last 3 matches. Yes, he had a decider in his opener, 60. But since then, it's seemingly been plain sailing.
It's been kind of similar for the pair of them, really, isn't it? Hugely fortunate, both of them, to come through round 1. 100. Clemens, we think, survived 8 match starts. It was probably half a dozen match starts for Kevin Doets in his opening game against Andreas Harrison. It was Jurgen van der Velde who missed the chance to knock Clemens out. Since then, Clemens has been imperious. Only dropped 5 legs in 3 games, and he's already at it in this one.
180.
What about this for a start? Doets on a potential 12 darter. Clemens on an 11.
78.
Here's double 11 for 73. Gabriel Clemens.
Game shot.
Well, Kevin Doets gets away with that one. It is a good opening leg from Doets, but he's had to survive a missed dart from Gabriel Clemens to hold his throw. Still first to 6 in the quarterfinals. Doets has 60. Only ever reached the final of a senior PDC event once. That was 2 years ago. He beat Clemens in the quarters that day. But Clemens, 7 times he's been in a PDC final. And unfortunately for Gabriel, he's been getting further and further away from winning. His last 2 final appearances, he's gone down 8-0 and 8-1.
60.
But we've got another quarterfinal between Luke Woodhouse and Ricky Evans, and it's similar. Woodhouse has been in 1 final, 41. Lost it. Ricky Evans has been in 6 himself and lost every single one of them. So massive, massive opportunities for the 4 players involved in those 2 quarterfinals.
99.
Ross Smith and Danny Noppert, who are major champions, squaring off in one of them. So we're going to lose the one of the major champions we've got in the field. And then Brendan Dole and Dirk 60. Van Duivenbode are both multiple title winners, but it has been a little while since we've seen them win.
Yeah, Ross Smith, 2 9-darters he's hit today. Astonishing stuff from Smudger.
One in the opening round against Dylan Slevin, and another against Chris Landman in the last 16. There's still time for more.
100.
Chance disappears after the very first dart.
68.
Does manage to pin the treble last dart to get single to double, but Gabriel Clemens is already there. Double 16. Not moving. Because he can just slot that one alongside it. 1 apiece.
$140. 140. 58. 140. 100. 57.
Clemens pretty much stolen the darts here, certainly has now. That's how you hammer home your advantage. He's hitting 180s at a rate better than most players this year in these events, Gabriel Clemens, and yet today he's not been brilliant. He's not even into double figures yet. That's his... Oh, no, sorry, that is his 10th.
Wrong segment for Gabriel Clemens. You can see just the wrong side of the wire.
49.
The opportunity has come and gone. This for a hold of throw for Kevin Doets. Tops.
66.
Doets couldn't punish.
Game
He has
shot.
punished himself. 13 darter, break of throw. Gabriel Clemens into the lead for the first time in this one. 4 average, not too shabby. About 10 points more than what he's averaging for the day, Gabriel Clemens. But as I've already said, he has cruised through the last 3 rounds. Mid to high 90s averages have been good enough for 6-1 and 6-2 victories.
60.
Yeah, by far the best performance in the early stages of the quarterfinals.
57.
Ross Smith leading Danny Noppert 2-0. Luke Woodhouse 2-0 up on Ricky Evans also. And Dirk van Dijvenbode has taken the first
57.
leg against Brendan Dolan. But none of those games really kicking into life yet.
Just wonder what it does to
140.
players down there when, yeah, look, they all know they're excellent players and many of them have won titles, admittedly, some
140.
not for a while. They've all at least reached finals. But I'm sure they'd have been looking at Gary Anderson and thinking that, well, he's obviously the bloke to beat. And then all of a sudden he's out the tournament. And then you're looking around
56.
going, hang on, this could be the day.
$80.
Yeah, I think you might be feeling a little bit of that about a guy who's hit 2 9-darters today, but
Game shot.
Gabriel Clemens won't be worrying about a great deal at the moment if he can continue to play like this.
Oh, yeah, since the opening round,
100.
Gabriel Clemens has not been in a game where he wouldn't have felt like he was going to lose it at any point. Only losing 1 or 2 legs, he's just controlled games. And he's controlling this one at the minute.
180.
This is impressive. This is the sort of Gabriel Clemens stuff that we were seeing in his early years in the PDC, where it seemed inevitable he was going to follow Max
100.
Hopp and become the second German to win PDC ranking titles. Now, in the intervening years, he hasn't. And Martin Schindler's won, and Ricardo Pietreczko's won.
140.
Dominic Grulich came close
Yeah.
a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and the signs haven't always looked good, have they, that Gabriel Clemens would get there in recent times.
83.
But this is mightily impressive.
$90.
And as you mentioned, of the players who are remaining, who you're probably looking around at if you are looking to
98.
pick up your first ever title, it probably would be Dirk van Dijvenbode and Ross Smith, but Dirk not really pulling up trees at the moment.
51.
Right, now when he had a pop at this a couple of legs ago, wasn't able to stay straight, and that, well, he's done really well to force the
Game
dart through
shot.
to the treble there. Excellent stuff, because I didn't think that first dart was sat very nicely for him at all.
It just seemed to crash past it somehow and then pin double top.
95.
Good finishing, as you can see in this game. Only a couple of misses apiece. Again, he crashes past what looks like a blocker dart.
140.
Comes away with a ton 40. He's only really had one game which he'll be happy with the standard, I would imagine, Kevin Doets. His second round win over
60.
Robert Grundy, where he averaged 99. Everything else has been around that 90 mark, which, yeah, it can win you games. But if you do that game after game after game, eventually you're going to come unstuck.
$95. 60. $99.
Rather have 152 than 151. Gabriel Clemens can stay on the treble 20 if he does pin it when he returns to the board.
140.
You know what? He might have to take it out to avoid being pegged back to 3 apiece. Not going to.
A huge opportunity for Doets, given
100.
how Gabriel has scored for the majority of this match. He's not been as prolific
30.
in this leg.
You're going to be first to a double.
$36.
1 miss inside, 1 miss outside. 3 all beckons for Doets.
Game shot.
Very nicely done from Doets. That was a rare leg off from Gabriel Clemens in the scoring phase. Not quite at the
96.
blistering level he'd shown in those prior.
$58.
And could this be where Doets starts to turn the screw?
140.
As more and more trebleless visits are creeping in for Gabriel.
55.
He's gone from being 3-1 up and 4 darts into a 9 darter in the next leg and averaging around the 108 mark to all of a sudden being in danger of being 4-3 down.
Yeah, just at the same time that he's struggling to find
83.
those 2 treble visits, Doets is managing to at least pick off 1 big treble each turn.
95. $92.
Not going to worry Doets at all, that. Double 12.
Game shot.
14 darter. Kevin Doets leads this game. 1-0 up, 3-1 down. He has rattled off 3 legs on the spin. He's in the ascendancy here.
140.
Not a must-win leg for Gabriel Clemens, but it does feel important.
85.
Yeah, I think we spoke too soon when we mentioned the mad Gabriel Clemens matches had subsided.
134.
Right. Could be 3.5-1 up. Find himself 5-3 down and still turn it around and win. That would be very
180.
Gabriel Clemens. But Kevin Doets, second maximum. Gets him hot on his heels. We have a semi-finalist,
45.
and Danny Noppert has been swept aside by Ross Smith. The man who's hit 2 9-darters already today is through to the semis. The number 3 seed, a 6-0
140.
winner. Didn't start brilliantly that game, but he must have got very, very good very, very quickly, Ross Smith. He's ended with a 98 average.
150.
That is very good from Gabriel Clemens.
Yeah, ended it with an 11 darter, Ross Smith, which is poor by his standards today. Another one in tops.
76.
Not going to be.
Game shot.
Got a level game. He stopped the rot. Double 16 pinned by Gabriel Clemens, but it's still Kevin Doets who has the advantage, which he might have just
42.
cast aside.
96. 77.
That is devastating for Kevin Doets at such a pivotal juncture.
$60.
One dart missed for a 5-3 lead, Kevin Doets. It's another one that he has lost to the floor.
38.
I don't think it's anything to do with the board. I think it's just him clattering into his own darts and the manner in which he throws them and some bad luck.
134.
But why blame that when there's something physical that you can blame?
100.
Clemens has to be favourite for the game from here.
Yeah, against the throw, and Kevin Doets is just clinging on at the moment in this leg.
59.
Hammering home the advantage though, Gabriel Clemens having to take out a 1-5-2 to complete a 5-visit leg. A 2 or 3 treble visit for Kevin Doets.
140.
Well, at least it stayed in the board. An extra 20 points makes a big difference there.
$140.
Double 14. Oh, he's dragged
87.
that low. Found his way through to the treble 19, but couldn't find the double. What a guide. Slides off it and into the lead, Gabriel Clemens. 3-1 up, 4-3 down. He now is throwing for a spot in the semi-finals. And it is looking like Brendan Dolan is the man he will face, because Dirk van Dijvenbode has not been able to maintain his charge through the tournament today.
96.
He is 4-1 down.
$60.
Dolan, who last won a title in this building almost exactly a year ago, a year and a week ago.
140. $140. $95.
As well to leave himself on a finish after 9, Gabriel Clemens.
100.
Doets unable to do the same. So for a spot in the semi, another one in there. For a dart at the bull.
138.
Didn't go for it. Sensible play.
He's given himself match darts.
60.
Is there another twist? There might be. There might be, but it's going to require something monumental from Kevin Doets. Can't get it started. More match darts for Gabriel Clemens.
105.
You can take nothing for granted in a game involving the German giant, but can he take his chance? Double 8. He
Game
does
shot
take his
Clemens.
chance, and Gabriel Clemens is 1 win away from reaching an 8th PDC final. He has never won a PDC title. Neither is Kevin Doets. He's going to have to wait. Gabriel Clemens might do it today. He made more chances than Kevin Doets over the course of that game, and he took just enough of them. It's a 98 average. It's solid stuff. He will likely take on Brendan Dolan for a spot in the final today.